Hi everyone, so today we have a new video review and I'm going to tell you about a new interesting watch. It is something what is coming from Slovakia and it's a limited edition watch. There will be only 5 pieces available. It's so-called Biatec Heritage. So first of all I would like to start with unboxing so that you see what is inside this nice box, and then we will talk about the watch itself as usual. So let's go. So as you saw in this nice box, we get the very beautiful watch. As you can see, it is finished in a classic style. So what I'm handling today is the gold version with a nice burgundy dial, but there will be also silver version available. They cost exactly the same money. It's just my own personal preference because I think this combo works better. So we will be talking about this particular version. And first of all, I have to say that the size here is not that huge. So because of that, we would like to start with the dial and talk about what is actually placed here and why this watch is special in comparison with other limited editions. So the whole watch, I would say it's the best of the classic styling, because here we get the burgundy color combined together with the golden case, with the golden indices, with the golden hands, and all this together creates really impressive composition. And the case size is 38 millimeters from lug to lug, so it's quite a small I would say product. As you can see, it's very tiny, and also it adds the touch of this old-time elegance to this, because they are not huge, they are very easy to wear, and they are legible at the same time. So what we get here is the applied indices, and they are finished in a somewhat classic font, I would say. So it's very beautiful in person, and I would say it's different from all of these modern offerings from other brands. So in my opinion, this is really great composition. What is missing here is the luminous layer. So do not expect any night legibility either on the indices or on the digits or on the hands. So all of this is just in the golden color. But I think that's not the watch where you expect such things, so it's not an issue. And also here we have the logos applied in the golden color as well, so it's Biatec and it's shield, and also the heritage with the 3 sticks. And by the way, this 3 sticks logo is actually connected with the Svatopluk, a legend about the Czechoslovak nation, so that's why we have here the stylish logo of this 3 sticks legend, which kind of hints on this tail. But overall, I was talking about the legibility, so it's also worth noting that we have the date indicator here, and it's not that easy to find it the first time, but it is actually placed on the outer dial of this watch. So we have the 31 markers here, and it's really neat feature, I would say, because it does not break the whole dial image, and yet we get this useful feature. It is handy for some of you. I'm not such a huge fan of the date indicators, but in this shape I think they are good to go. And all of this is working with help of this separate hand, which is also different in the shape, so it's quite easy to find. I have to say that, of course, the whole dial is covered with the sapphire glass, and maybe you can notice, you also see it in the video cutouts, but you can notice that the glass itself is slightly raised over the case. So it's also the slight nod to the classic watches from 60s, and I think it's really suitable here. So designers did a really well job here, because it works all together, it doesn't look cheap, and it also creates this very special image, which is very good to get on this type of the model from Biatec. And now I think it's also time to talk about the casing, because as for the casing, it's also quite special, and I think it deserves the separate word. So you might have seen here, this watch is coming in this golden color. So this is not a golden case, this is a golden finish which mimics the gold and it looks quite nice. We have the polished surfaces here everywhere, so that's why you have to be careful with it, and of course it will be a magnet for the tiny micro scratches. So be careful with it, and I think it's standard thing for the stylish, elegant watches in the classic styling, in the classic design. So that's why it's not something special or something bad, it's just something what you have to live with and what you have to expect if you're getting such watch. And I was saying in the beginning that this model is also available in the silver color, so in the silver I think it's not as suitable as in this golden color, especially with this dial color, so that's why think twice and try maybe to get them in the person if you can, because there are 5 pieces as I say. So in my opinion this golden color is the choice, if we can say it this way. And what I like in this design is that even though the case itself is quite simplistic, we get the locks with a quite interesting finish, because these are locks which are drilled through, so it creates this lightened image, I would say. And it's a really interesting solution because they are also polished inside, as far as you can see. You will see it also in the detail shots, so that's why it's a neat touch which works nicely. And also these cutouts are also combined together with the slightly concaved cutouts in the case. So very nice styling, and I think it's good addition to this classic design of the Biatec heritage. As for the crown, it's a classic part here, so it's a large item which is really easy to pick out. It's not sitting flush with the case, as you can notice. Again, I will be inserting some videos with this crown so that you can understand how it's placed with the case. And of course we have the Biatec logo on it. The overall handling is also quite simple, so the first position is the date, the second position is the adjustment of the time. Obviously there is no screw down position, but I think it's unnecessary here, so it's understandable that designers decided to go with a simple style. The water protection here is also only 50 meters, so it's not that much, but again I'm saying that this is not a tool watch, so do not expect some, I would say, unnecessary specs which are useful for the tool watch, but they are completely useless in the elegant dress watch. But what is cool is that we get the open case back here. We also get the mention that it's made for the Helveti webshop as a special edition, and we also get the number count here. Of course we get the opening for the mechanism, so this is really cool because we get the custom rotor here and you get to look how it works all together. I appreciate such addition into this watch, and I think it's something to look into from time to time, so it's always good to have the cutout on the rear window. And as for the movement, I think it's a time to talk about it in a bit more detailed way, so let's move to this part of the review. So when we are talking about the movement, here we get the Sellita SW221, but it's a premium version, so it's slightly improved mechanism with a longer power reserve. And the power reserve here is 38 hours, which is more or less okay for everyday use. Again, do not forget about the size of this watch. It's very tiny, so that's why we do not get such a huge power reserve as well, or maybe some complications inside, but I think it's not a problem here. And still you get the basic set of the functions, the date indicator, the time, and of course the seconds indication on the main dial, so everything is good. Of course we also get the Haken. So basically you get a neat packaging in the small case. Now we can also talk about the strap. So as you can see here we get the brown croco strap. So in the beginning of the review I said that the lug to lug length is 38 millimeters, and it's actually not the exact situation. So we get the lug to lug is 46 and the 38 is the case diameter, if you wonder what is the exact dimensions. If we are talking about the strap width, it's 20 millimeters, which is also quite standard. But what is cool here is that we get the quick release bars, so it will be easy to replace it. And of course you are free to experiment because it's a classic golden combo, and it might be working with the black leather strap or maybe with some textile options, maybe even with some golden metal straps or bracelets, so it's up to you. And I think 20 millimeters length makes it quite universal and opens you space for some extra experiments. But of course it's also quite a shame that we do not get any extra straps, which could be cool to get for this price, but unfortunately we get only this croco strap with the golden polished buckle, and of course we also get the Biatec logo on the buckle as well. So now I can tell you a bit more about the experience of wearing this watch. I can say that I wasn't wearing it for a long time, and not the least role was played that it's all polished assembly or design, and that's why I'm always careful with such things, and here I think you should be extra careful. So for me it would be a watch for special occasions, and I think what adds to this speciality, I would say, is that the size of the watch is not that huge. So once you get it on your wrist, and you will see it on the wrist shots, it's really neat, it's quite compact, and it's easy to hide under the sleeve. And yet the legibility is very good. The dial color is also quite special, I would say, because not that many brands are actually brave enough to go with the burgundy with the gold. Also the whole assembly quality, how all of the pieces are finished, it's also very top-notch level. So I appreciate what Biatec did here, and I think it's something what I like from those watches which I reviewed this half a year, let's say. So it can be one of the best actually. And of course for the rear opening this is also neat, but I just appreciate the dial design because they did a really great work there, and it looks like a watch from all those golden times from the 60s and 70s, and it doesn't take half of your wrist. So as for the price, it is, first of all, it's a limited edition, so there are only 5 pieces, and here I'm touching the 4th watch. And the price will be 2,000 euros, which is quite a price tag, I would say, because it places it in a quite tricky segment of the market. But at the same time, you're getting something truly special, not the mainstream. So I would say if you would like to get something different from all of these stereotypical choices, then definitely take a look into this direction, because I think Biatec did something nice. And of course it does not end with the limited edition. Even though there will be 2 versions of the limited edition, you can also get a bit simpler version with a slightly different colors. So everything what I said today basically applies to the simpler versions as well. So if you are a fan of the green or blue color, you also have a choice with such design, and this is actually a beauty of this model. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!